Hey everybody, welcome back to Locust Grove Homestead. Today we're going to do a review on this greenhouse that you can buy on Amazon for right at 200 bucks. Ours is the 26 by 10. I kind of wanted to show you just a little bit about how this thing goes together, some of the problems you may run into, and then kind of give you an overview about how the thing works. Right now we're going into May. We're about a week out from being able to plant in the gardens, and I wanted to kind of show you some of the things that we ran into, what you can expect, what not to expect, especially considering it's a $200 greenhouse. Let's go ahead and get into the video here.
Greenhouse.
Alright, what we need to do?
Let's get some more parts out. And we don't need a lot of parts to put in.
Let's get these to the backyard where we're going to build it.
What?
Let's get these to the backyard where we're going to build it.
Okay, I'm just gonna get those long ones, okay?
Okay.
Pockets to go. Put two screws on each side. Some boards. Turn the door, so 216s would go up. Oh, 216s would go up like this. One here and one here.
Do it.
Got to the door section. Step, which was step 3. Okay. Bring this to this part. There you go. Then we take this, turn this around. Like this, move that over, put that in. Turn it around. It's so easy that an 8-year-old can do it.
So, halfway through, it's basically just rinse and repeat at this point in time. Nothing crazy. I think that end cap's gonna pull it all together. So far, it's not really, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's not really that difficult at all. The only thing is like some of the ends are deformed when you put it together. So like these won't be quite round. So you have to put them in from an angle. These are a little burred up. It's kind of hard. These are a little burred up, so it's kind of hard to get the bolt in sometimes. But overall, I mean, for the price, I can't complain. Would you say this is easy or hard?
Pretty easy.
Okay.
We got the greenhouse. We got the structure of the greenhouse finished.
Yep. We only run into a few small issues. I'm not really sure. It's manufactured design error, but these holes are down here on these for some reason, and they should be up here because they connect in. If you see, like right here, this hole and this hole connect together. If you look at the connections right here, this is a female over a male in, and this is a female over a male in. So we put it together correctly. It's just they misset the holes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have, I think there's 1, 2, 3 bars that don't have these braces on them that I'll have to go in and drill holes and then put the bolts and the structure supports on, which that does make a big difference in rigidity. But overall, I'm not disappointed for the price. I mean, we knew it was going to be a little light, but it's actually not too bad. You know, for me, I'm 6'3", so I can just walk underneath of this thing, which is about perfect. Still gives us plenty of growing space, doesn't get too big. Overall, the hoop looks pretty good. And it wasn't that difficult to put up, was it?
Yeah, and it's very big too.
Yeah, only took us about, what, an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were still asleep, so we could get down without them waking up.
Yeah, you can see, like, it's got some flex in it, which is what we figured would happen, but once we'll put some weight on the bottom and we'll get it weighted down and anchored down, and then it should be okay. So, and we got it situated in this backyard so that, you know, to the south of us is this big building that'll block the wind. To the north of us is this house, shed, and, you know, the other buildings, these trees, that'll help block the wind. And the only thing we're gonna get is from like be a northwesterly wind coming into the backyard, and even then it's gonna hit the back end of the tunnel. So I'm pleased. So all right, it's moving day. Let's get these guys outside. All right, so the greenhouse is tarped up. We had a deep frost last night. It was 25 degrees. You can see she's covered in ice. See it all falling off. You look out here, see the ground is all frosted. But inside the greenhouse, it's all nice and thaw. So get her stocked up today. It's supposed to be the last day that was supposed to be in the 20s for at least a couple weeks. So hopefully it might be the last day that's going to be in the 20s until next fall, but we'll see. All right, well, we got them out. Don't look too bad. Onions look pretty good. Those Alicia Craig's didn't turn out too well, but the tomatoes look pretty decent. The peppers, I think they're definitely going to benefit from being outside. And of course, this is another tomato tray, or this is another tray of tomatoes, so it looks pretty good overall. I think getting them out here, getting them in full sun, I think that's going to be a huge help for them. We'll start to get some of them transplanted into the ground. I got to do a little bit of work around here yet. Maybe get some carrots planted this week, and then spring's here. It's awesome. So we hit the fast forward button there. We're about 3.5 weeks in the future now. We're about a week and a half out from being planting out into the garden. I think it's May 2nd, 3rd today. So if you look, overall, everything's done pretty well. We've upgraded everything. Tomatoes are looking all right. I will say one of the things that we had an issue with in this thing is that while it does protect from the elements, it doesn't protect that well. We had one night where it got down to 28 degrees and it frosted everything. All of our tomatoes got frosted in here. You can see right here, these were frosted off. They're coming back now. Thankfully, when I transplanted them, I deep rooted them in that cup, and that's what saved them, because most of their stem was buried up in that cup. But you know, things like our pumpkins, they did just fine, or the peppers, they did fine, or we even had pumpkins planted in the ground over here. These have been planted in the ground for 2 weeks, and they didn't get hit by the frost. So, you know, it's really dependent on the plant, but you're riding that thin line. So if you do have one of these, I mean, these zucchinis have done great. They've been out here the whole time and, you know, not been frosted at all. So if you do end up in one of these greenhouses, one thing that I would suggest is that if it does get cold, if it gets below 30 degrees and you have tomato plants inside, make sure you bring them in a house for the night, just to be safe. You know, you hate to lose 80 or 90 plants like we almost did. So overall, I would say that this thing is, you know, for the price, it's good. I mean, overall for the price, I would say that this thing is pretty good. For 200 bucks, you're gonna be hard pressed to beat something that's gonna be able to do what this thing is doing. And you know, it's held up to the elements. It's done everything we could ask it to do. It's not gonna protect things when it gets cold out. So I would say, rather than being a greenhouse, I would more classify it as like a polytunnel more than anything. And you see how well the rye did in there. It looks great compared to the stuff that's outside. But so I hope this helps. If you got any questions or anything, just make sure you leave them in the comments.